Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. Coming up this week, we're going to tell you what the most important things in Disneyland are to us, and we're going to talk about the best off-site hotels in the Anaheim area. All that coming up next. From the Bob Varley Studio in Orlando, Florida, and points around Southern California, this is the Disneyland edition of the DIS Unplugged. This is the Disneyland edition of the DIS Unplugged, episode 746 for the week of October 8th, 2018. The DIS Unplugged is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel, experts at helping you plan the perfect Disneyland vacation. Visit them on the web at www.dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the show, coming to you from the Bob Varley Studio here in Orlando, Florida. I'm your host, Pete Werner, and I'm joined at the table this week by my co-host, Mr. Rhino Clavin.
Hello, hello.
Out in California, our associate producer, Mr. Tyler Crouch.
Hi, everyone.
And contributing editor and the lovely and talented Miss Katrina Manzoni.
Hi, everybody.
And very happy to have back with us the lovely and talented Miss Luella Loriola.
Hi, everyone.
So welcome, everybody, to the show. It is good to be back. I was back last week for the Disney World edition of this show. This is my first time back on this show. And thanks, Rhino, for taking over.
Oh, well, thank you for giving me that opportunity, I guess. It was a little stressful, but we got through it.
You got through it.
Yeah.
You got through
I
it.
think
Everybody did a great job. I was very, very happy with that. And just the only thing I really have for housekeeping is just to remind everyone, especially if you don't watch our Tuesday Disney World show, November 24th from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., we are doing a special marathon show for 12 hours. This is the Saturday right after Thanksgiving. This is all part of an effort to raise money for Give Kids the World. At 10 a.m. on the 24th, not only are we doing our show, but we're also going to launch a live online silent auction. We're going to be auctioning off a lot of really cool stuff. Folks are sending us really, really cool stuff for the auction. That auction is going to go on for a week, so it's going to go from that Saturday, the 24th, through, I believe, that Saturday, December 1st. And all of that, 100% of every dollar raised goes to Give Kids the World. So it's going to be fun. We're going to have we have a lot of cool things planned for that show. Working very hard on that right now. So be sure to tune in. YouTube.com/DisUnplugged or DisUnplugged.com on November 24th. And if you have items that you would like to donate in order for us to auction them off, you need to send them to the disboards.com Welcome Center at 6550 North Atlantic Avenue, Suite B as in boy, Cape Canaveral, Florida. And Rhino, look up the zip code because I forgot it again. I think it's 32920.
I feel like that sounds familiar, but I'm doing it right now.
You'd think for the number of times I've had to say this.
It is 32920.
32920. Wow, I still have some brain cells left. I'm amazed by that. So, 6550 North Atlantic Avenue, Suite B, Cape Canaveral, Florida, 32920. The disboards.com Welcome Center. And of course, if you're heading out on a Disney cruise out of Port Canaveral, you can always stop by and say hello to Teresa and the gang out at the Welcome Center. We have free Wi-Fi, we have snacks and sodas and coffee and place to hang out before you go down to the cruise terminal. Any day that the ships are in Port Canaveral, the Welcome Center is open. So that's an easy way to remember where it is. But enough of that. Anything else in housekeeping that I'm missing?
No.
Anything, California people?
No.
My California snowflakes?
Oh, we're good. The weather's getting nicer.
I know, it's cloudy.
Oh, that awful heat wave is broken.
We have a chance of rain, 40% for one day only.
Wow. Okay, well, that's the big deal.
It's raining for me.
Oh, it is?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
That is a big deal. That is a big deal. You guys really do need the rain.
Yeah.
Us, on the other hand,
I'm done with it.
We had a really rainy season.
Yeah, you guys can share some rain with us next time.
If only it worked that way, Tyler. We're going to have
Yeah,
to
I
talk
wish it
about how
did.
the weather works. But all right, so let's get started with the show and talk about the most important things in Disneyland to us this week. I'm going to start, and I hope I'm not stealing anybody else's, but what is this about Disneyland taking away benches and seating
I saw this.
in order to widen walkways and pathways? They're taking out planters, they're taking out seating. It is being speculated this is being done in advance of the opening of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge out in Disneyland next summer, in order to handle the crowds. Of course, the fan community is not pleased. Twitter erupted with this story. Have you guys noticed it already? I'm hearing that they've started it. Have you guys noticed this happening already?
Yeah, it's by the Haunted Mansion. When they reopened Haunted Mansion for Haunted Mansion Holiday, Tyler noticed it actually, and we were walking by, and I was like, it seems more spacious around here. And they took out the planters in the seating area over there to kind of add more space so people can walk, you know?
Yeah, that's the main place that I've noticed it. I haven't really seen it many other places. I don't know about you, Luella.
I haven't seen it, but I know there's a confirmation that it's happening because I know a cast member who purchased one of the benches. They sold some of those benches to cast members, and they were very excited to pick it up. But I have mixed emotions about it. I can understand that area is going to be very congested, but one of the things I love are just little places to sit and watch people. And I guess that's not what they want. They don't want too much people watching in that area because it is tight. But yes, a cast member friend of mine purchased a bench.
Someone needs to buy me a Disneyland bench. Okay, my birthday's coming up, December 6th. That would be a lovely birthday gift for me. If someone wants to give tribute to Caesar. But yeah, and I get that. I get the seating and being able to kind of relax. Some people have commented it's like turning Disneyland into Magic Mountain or a Six Flags park. But at the same time, even without Galaxy's Edge opening, let's be honest, it is so congested in that park. They've got to do something. Now, the one thing I will say that people are complaining about is how this particularly affects seniors, children, and the disabled. Mm-hmm. They're okay. Yeah, because now, am I also correct in reading that while they are doing this, they are expanding seating at, like, for example, we hear that Bengal Barbecue is going to go to about 100 seats.
Jeez, wow.
Is one of the things I've been reading. These are unconfirmed. This is just what I've been reading around the web. But that they're going to be expanding the amount of seating in some of the dining areas. So is it, obviously it's a crowd control effort. Yes, it's in preparation for Galaxy's Edge. But is there also a desire to, if you want to sit down, go buy something?
That's what it sounds like to me. It seems like they are putting seats in places where you can eat, and that's where they want to direct the people versus along the pathway sitting and people watching.
Yeah, but even when we were at Bengal Barbecue, there's plenty of people that just sit there because they can't find a seat anywhere else, so they just sit there.
That drives me crazy when I'm trying to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
insane,
eat there,
so.
and you got people sitting there just, hanging out on Facebook.
Yeah.
In the meantime, there are people who've just bought food that can't find a place to sit. So expanding the amount of seating at Bengal Barbecue is a good idea, in my opinion. But I don't know how I feel. Like I said, it's a double-edged sword. I can see both sides of this, that the need to widen the areas to allow for better traffic flow, but also, it takes away the charm of being able to sit and people want,
Yes.
but more importantly, seniors, children, and disabled folks having places to rest. How that's going to work, I'm not sure.
Are they going to take away the seats over at they're adding the Tropical Hideaway, so that'll add a little bit more seats. But then where the Tiki Room is, are they going to be taking away those like little benches, I wonder, where people can sit and wait?
I think they'll be keeping those benches just because that's one of the pre-show areas, and you have nothing to do but
taking those away isn't going to widen the walkway per se. That's in the you're talking about the ones in the pre-show area.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's not gonna. You know, they're doing this to allow better traffic flow. So those aren't in the. Are they?
No.
Oh, no, I'm thinking of ours.
No, they're not
I'm thinking
in the
of
walkway,
ours. I'm not thinking
but
of yours.
I'm curious if they're going to take them away because it'll help like people like standing around, so there's more space for people to fit.
I think in that regard, more of what they did was add mobile ordering to the juice bar. Like once they added mobile ordering, that was their way to try and alleviate people in that area, you know. So, but I mean, it's going to be crazy when Fantasmic is going on and people are leaving Galaxy's Edge. So I understand why they got rid of all those planters and the benches and everything over by Haunted Mansion, because imagine when you know what it's like when everybody's waiting to get their place to sit for Fantasmic, and then put Galaxy's Edge on top of that, and that whole entire walkway is going to be demolished. So,
well, I'm pretty sure from what I heard, there's going to be multiple entrances into Galaxy's Edge. So when Fantasmic is on, they're going to direct them to go through Fantasyland.
Yeah, they have to.
Well, I always assume, I could be wrong. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I always assume that the kind of entryway that they're building over by Hungry Bear Restaurant was always intended to be the exit of Galaxy's Edge, and so people were going to be exiting out through Frontierland and over by Critter Country, basically.
There's 3 entrances in yours, right? So
there's 3. Yeah.
So my guess is they'll just kind of do. I think they did this at Pandora when it was opening, about redirecting people. One way in, one way out, sort of a scenario.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So, yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Is like the side that has the 2 gates over by Frontierland, over by Big Thunder Mountain. I think those 2 gates will be the entrance, and then the exit will be over by Critter Country, where Hungry Bear Restaurant is. So,
well, should be interesting to see how this all plays out. So, all right, that's it for me. Rhino, what do you have?
I have 2 things that I'm excited about. One is there's an article, and the author is in the room. Well, not in the room. She's in the room spiritually right now, staring at me on a computer screen. But Katrina's got an article that I think people shouldn't, since it's Halloween time, and we've been talking about it a lot on the show. Katrina's got an article, 5 Halloween experiences you cannot miss at the Disneyland. At Disneyland. I thought it said at Disneyland Resort. But you can check that out on www.info.com/Disneyland.
What is it?
It's the 5...
No. What's the URL?
www.info.com.
Slow it down so people understand.
www.info.com. I know my words slur together.
I heard www.info.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah.
www. The www.
I'll send you a check later, Rhino.
Yeah, she slipped me a 20. But I also, which is exciting, is...
And just so people know, if that's confusing to you, DisneyInfo.com leads to the same place.
There you go. That one's probably, yeah. Okay, so, but anyway, also, mobile ordering is expanding at Disneyland too, and I know Tyler mentioned it about the juice place, but it's I think they're adding a couple more locations. There's the Edelweiss Snacks, Stage Door Cafe, and Refreshment Corner, and the Royal Street Veranda were just added to the lineup. So the picture they used to lure me into this article originally is this seasonal I just lost what it was called. Funnel cake. Yeah. No, I couldn't remember if it was funnel cake, but I was thinking about the bread pudding. But yeah, so I mean, that's pretty cool. I like that they're doing that. They added the mobile allergy. The allergy-friendly menus apparently have always been in there, but they're advertising that's there as well. So people like our gluten-free friends here, it makes ordering meals a lot easier for them and stuff. So I know it's not very exciting, but I like it because it means I have to wait
completely
less
zoned
lines.
out after you said Katrina's name.
I think he also said Elderweiss snacks, so it's like a Book of Mormon mashup restaurant now.
Edelweiss. How do you say it?
Edelweiss?
Edelweiss. Sorry.
Elderweiss.
Have I been saying that wrong all this time? I guess
Haven't
so.
you ever seen Sound of Music?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, don't start. Don't start. I just spent 10 days. I just spent 10 days doing the Sound of Music tour with Adventures by Disney in Central Europe. Oh my God. It was actually really cool though. We got to see like some really cool stuff. That's another show. But
yeah. So not anything major, but just something little. You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for telling us about the Elderweiss snacks. Katrina, what's on your mind this week?
So, there's a lot of new things going on at Downtown Disney, so I wanted to talk about Naples Ristorante e Pizzeria. So they just opened the upstairs, and Tyler and I actually got to go up there and test out the food. So by the time this video comes out, you will be able to see our review. So downstairs patio, they made it, we talked about it before, they made it really nice, spacious. The color schemes are really nice and like just relaxing to the eye. But they changed the menu downstairs, so now it's just shareables like pizza, salads, and I think a couple like little appetizers. But the full menu is upstairs only at the moment, and as soon as they finish the downstairs area, then it'll be like up and downstairs in the restaurant. But the patio is shareables only, and so far the prices that match the food are not very. It doesn't compare like the food with the prices. And
are they too
you watch
expensive?
the video, you wonder why. You'll know why.
It's too expensive is what she means.
Too expensive. For
there was an easier way to say that, darling.
I don't know. I didn't know how to say it without like spoiling it. But
the prices that match the food are not matching. Well said.
It's just not. It wasn't pleasant. But the upstairs is really neat because they kind of like designed it as like an Italian. They talk with their hands a lot, and so the whole scheme upstairs is like there's pictures of.
We do not talk with our hands.
And so
she does.
I do a lot. It's really hard
So
for me
do
to
I.
like hold my hands like this to like so I don't move my hands. But
Is that like a
they
muzzle?
do-
Is that the Italian version of a muzzle?
It is, but then I still talk like this a lot. Anyway, so the color, like the picture schemes on the walls are of hand gestures, like when you put your finger to your cheek and you twist it, it's like, is it good? You know, stuff like that. But then there's like a really disturbing art piece that's in the restaurant. It's like a wall of 3D hands, like a model of hands doing weird things.
It's really weird, actually.
It is really disturbing because it looks like it's like from a horror movie, and at any moment I'm going to see that hand move.
Yeah.
And it's like covers like a good part of the service area. It's you, Pete, when you come out here, you need to see this or read my article because I'll be having that one out too. But it's really disturbing. But the outside patio upstairs is really, really nice. I actually do like the patio upstairs. They have a fountain up there that makes it look like it adds more life to it because of just because you can hear the water moving and stuff. So you're not just like floating.
It has like a kind of Tuscan atmosphere on the patio.
It's really nice. And the view is really great. So
it's interesting. It's interesting. Like, what is it called over in Disney Springs, Marriott and Enzo's, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's from what the cast members are wearing to just some of the decor feeling like you're in like a ship port or something like that. It feels like Maria and Enzo and Naples are slowly becoming more similar.
Yeah. And they're both owned by Patina.
Yeah, they're both owned by Patina, so that makes a lot of sense.
And I got to tell you something. I'm a big fan of the Patina restaurants. I think they do a great job. Naples is one of my favorites. I loved it out there. Not a lot on that menu I can eat these days, but still always loved it. I think they do a good job. So excited to hear your review.
Yeah. The vlog will be out.
I'm sure there'd be a lot of hate because I was not very happy with my meal. At all.
Well, it was one of those things, honestly, where we felt pretty happy at the time, but then when we started thinking about it more and more after we did our review, sort of, we started thinking actually maybe it wasn't really worth as much money as we thought because like her entree was like $25, and they do the type of thing where they'll like cut the shrimp in half so it looks like you're getting more shrimp, but actually you're just getting
I didn't want to
half a shrimp. But well, no, I mean people can still go watch the video. There's a lot more in the vlog, but I just. You know, it was one of those things where
They took shortcuts.
Yeah, they take some shortcuts, and they're noticeable sometimes. And for the price, that's not necessarily what you want to see.
Yeah.
So.
All right. And what about you, Tyler? What's on your list this week?
So for me, we talked about it. We've talked about it for the past few weeks, I feel like. But finally, Earl of Sandwich has actually reopened at Downtown Disney. So it actually ended up opening yesterday, or well, at the time of this recording, last Tuesday, I guess. So, and Jim Stanley, the man who runs Earl of Sandwich, had a few quotes from him in the OC Register, and I just thought it was kind of interesting to note that when they did close Earl of Sandwich, apparently he was lobbying with Disney to try and get them to have a pop-up shop, or even try and get in the new hotel that they were building. So I just thought that those were just kind of fascinating things that he mentioned. He was trying to get Earl of Sandwich to stick around this whole time, even down to the part where Disney apparently wanted them to remove the signage that says Earl of Sandwich on top of the building, and he just never did it. And he's lucky he never did it because they got to reopen. So apparently the only thing that they removed from the entire restaurant were the picnic tables. So that's how they were able to reopen so easily.
So what do you think this means for Rainforest? I know it was gutted. So I mean, can they do anything with it?
Yeah, that's the next thing I was going to say, is that even though Rainforest and ESPN, or even though Earl of Sandwich has reopened, I don't think there's much hope for ESPN Zone or Rainforest Cafe.
Is anyone disappointed about that?
I don't know if like a huge mainstream of people are disappointed. I know there are a lot of like dads and even like young teenage boys and stuff are disappointed that ESPN Zone is gone. And I mean I'm disappointed that ESPN Zone is. Well, let me put it this way: I would like something exciting to be there, and so I'm disappointed that ESPN Zone isn't there anymore, just because there's nothing there now. You know what I mean? So.
But the TVs are still running, so at least people can watch from the outside.
That's true. I mean, they still run the TVs, but like you said, apparently Rainforest Cafe and ESPN Zone have just been like pretty much gutted. So there's just not. It's just not really worth it for them.
And you know, it's worth mentioning that it is such an unusual circumstance that, you know, an announcement is made about a new hotel and businesses are closed, some of them are gutted, and then because of political strife they have to hang a hard left and do a U-turn and say, oh, never mind. They have to pull, it's a mulligan. They're doing a Disney mulligan.
It makes them look a little bit silly, honestly. You know, I mean, I hate to say it because.
Well, okay, like... I have to say this. This is Josh D'Amaro having to clean up the mess that was left for him.
Right.
Okay. This is him having to clean up the mess. Why are you giving me Stevie Wonder back there?
It's the word silly. It's a word that whenever I hear it or say, it's like an automatic feeling. When you say that word, it makes you feel that way. And he said silly, so now I'm feeling.
You're like, I'm silly.
I can't anymore. I can't. So
they're silly.
Like I said before, 8th grade invaded. This was a Josh D'Amaro, the current president of Disneyland, having to clean up a mess that he was left because his predecessor completely screwed the relationship with the Anaheim City Council. And that's why, in my opinion, they brought Josh in to repair that, which he is doing. But one of the casualties of that was losing this luxury hotel. And I got to be honest with you, I thought it was a flawed idea from the beginning. Because they were talking about this hotel. I mean, the way they were talking, we were going to be seeing standard room rates of $1,200-$1,300 a night at this place. And I just think that was going to be a disaster, an absolute disaster. So I'm glad that right now, at least, it's been scrapped. It's been scrapped. But what, you know, they're going to have to do something. Because it's getting a little like Sarajevo 1984 down on that end of downtown Disney.
Yeah, there's like food trucks, but there's like maybe 3, and there's like one that rotates for dessert, like a crepes like food truck or like an ice cream food truck. But the habit's there, but it's still not like a restaurant, you know?
It is worth noting, too, that Earl of Sandwich themselves have even said that this is a limited time thing. So they know that they're not going to be open for the foreseeable future. But they also, what was his name? Jim Stanley. He also commented that he didn't know if Disney is still planning on building the hotel. So.
Well, that's why he said. That's why they're having to say right now. They're having to say it's a limited time thing.
Yeah.
Because they don't know what the plan is. Honest to God, I don't. I would say 70% they're not building it. 70% they've just scrapped it. And that's my guess. But that's just my educated guess. I could be completely wrong. All right, Luella, what about you?
Well, as you can tell, I love Nightmare Before Christmas.
Me too.
And I'm very excited with the layover at Haunted Mansion. But there's a lot of nice things about Nightmare Before Christmas that's coming out. The Harvey's bags, if you know what those Harvey's bags are, it's the seatbelt bag. And if you didn't know, the Harvey's shop is actually very close to Disneyland. It's in Santa Ana, and you can drive down there and get some of these bags that you might not find at the Disneyland Resort. But the new Nightmare Before Christmas bags are coming out this week, and so you can look for that at the resort. You can use your discount, or if not, just go down to Harvey's down in Santa Ana. But not too far in LA, the Hollywood Bowl is performing. There's a performance there for watching Danny Elfman and the orchestra with Nightmare Before Christmas, so you can watch the movie with the orchestra there.
The Lady Claven is over here clutching her pearls.
Oh my God, that sounds amazing.
It is a fantastic show.
I love Danny Elfman's one of my probably favorite composer, and then Nightmare. I saw him accept an award at D23 and his Legends Award in 2015, but he didn't perform or do anything. So that's and I've been to the Hollywood Bowl, and that's an awesome venue. If you're coming from out of town and you're not familiar with it, it is like when you watch something there, it's like no other. It's an awesome experience. So that's really cool.
Especially when
it's amazing that you're in Los Angeles, because when you're in the Hollywood Bowl, the way that they made it, you wouldn't think you're in a big city.
Yeah.
It's very well done. And interestingly, I saw Sound of Music there with the orchestra. Sing along. But also El Capitan is having a run of Nightmare Before Christmas. So it's it's October. It's the month of Nightmare Before Christmas. And I don't know if you talked about this. I know, Rhino, you love all the foodies and good stuff. So if you're at Disneyland, please get your little checkbook here. It has Disneyland and DCA, and it's a list of all the things with boxes that you can check off that you have eaten that goodie. And there's a lot.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I love that. They also have I saw on the annual pass holder Twitter feed that they had the Nightmare T-shirt and the water bottle that you could get too. That's really cool looking too. So that's neat. I love Nightmare Before Christmas. So.
What? You guys, look, okay, so I just got back from 2 weeks, right? 2.5 weeks in Europe. And I have a trip planned. I've had it for a while. It's a business thing where I'm going out to Honolulu, to Alani. And then had the idea, since Honolulu was halfway to Tokyo, that I'm going to do a week in Tokyo Disneyland. So that's a lot of travel, right? It's been a big travel. This is the most I've traveled ever in my life. But I'm hearing all this stuff, and I'm sitting here saying to myself, is there a way for me to get back out to California before I go to...
because you're leaving at the end of the month, so
I'm leaving on the 29th.
Switched over to the Christmas stuff by then.
Yeah. I will get a chance to see... Tokyo Disneyland decorated for Christmas. The day the day they start all their Christmas stuff is 2 days before.
Oh, that's awesome.
I leave.
That's so cool.
Very cool.
I'll be really interested.
We'd be interested to see what kind of celebrations they do for that. If there's special events and if they do they go the food situation is the same there. I know.
Yeah, I know nothing about Tokyo Disneyland. I know nothing about it. So I'm
sure
going
the
into
PETA
this.
is going to be a lot of fun there.
Well, it's interesting that because I'm going into this the way a lot of people go into planning a trip to Disneyland in California or down here, places I'm really, really familiar with. So, I'm like learning about this park for the first time. It's not something we cover on our site or on the shows ever. So it's not something I focused on other than just it's always been a bucket list thing. And that's why we're doing it. So, but yeah, Sean and I are very excited about that trip.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. All right. So that'll do it. Thank you, Luella, for that. Thanks, everybody, for your most important things in Disneyland this week. Let's move on and talk about our picks for the 5 best resorts off-site at Disneyland. So, what?
I think we should also mention, too, I don't think we ever did, that the best and worst of Disneyland is being absorbed into this show, so that's why...
Oh, we never made that announcement?
I don't believe we ever did.
No, because I think we said we would do it the first time that we would do it after they ended, and then as they ended, we would do one of these. But then you were away, and we wanted to wait till you got back to do it, so we didn't. This is our first one. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. Yeah, we have decided we're not doing the separate best and worst of Disneyland shows anymore. We're kind of folding that into this show. So every so often, as we do our segments, was that?
That was Luella.
Yeah.
Oh, that was Luella. Okay, I thought it was Thunder. Still Florida, still summer.
Yeah.
We have to pay attention to Thunder. So that's why we're doing this. So we're doing our 5 best off-site hotels at Disneyland. And for those who've never been, off-site at Disneyland is a very, very different experience than off-site at Walt Disney World. Because literally these hotels are all, for the most part, walking distance to the parks. You don't have to worry about shuttles. You don't have to worry about buses. You don't have to worry about scheduled transportation. All the things we have to think about off-site here in Orlando are not really an issue out there. So, and there is just a ton of hotels. So, Rhino, I'm going to start with you. Your pick was the Hotel Indigo.
Yes, yeah. I know this is also one of Craig's favorite, if not, I believe you said it was your favorite, of the off-site hotels as well. So he stayed there more than once, but I stayed with him in a room on our trip when we were out there filming the What We Love About Disneyland.
This is when you were dating.
Yes, we were. Yes, we were. It was a wonderful memory that I'll cherish forever. We have since gone our separate ways, but so...
That's a joke, folks. That's a joke. They never dated, okay?
People think that when we refer to like our significant others that we're referring to each other, but it's fine. No, this was my first experience at the Hotel Indigo was this last time, and I have to say I really, really enjoyed it. It's about a 10 to 15 minute walk. If you've got those long dancer legs like Craig, it's a little bit less, but it's about 15-minute walk.
Just never looked at Craig's leg and thought dancer. Thought Eastern European pole vaulter.
Well, his some people sleepwalk, some people sleep tap dance. So I got lucky with Craig. So, but it's like 15 minutes.
I'm not even sure what that means.
He tap dances in his sleep. He gets up and does a little number. No, Shirley Temple.
Animal
crackers in my soup. So anyway, Hotel Indigo is located on West Catella. Just if you're not familiar with the area, it's literally like you come out of Disneyland.
It comes complete with a song.
There's even a cane. I don't know if you're listening. You can't see me doing the box step here, but it's literally just you come out of the Disneyland, out of the park entrance, the opposite side. So downtown Disney's on one side. You've got the side that goes toward Harbor Boulevard. You just go down Harbor, and it's right there, just around the corner. But when we stayed there, we had a little bit of a tough check-in process that wasn't very smooth, but I believe we made reservations for the Hotel Indigo through hotels.com, or it was through another site. So if you are...
It was booking.com, I made
Booking, okay. So if you are doing that, just be aware that there might be some communication issues, so be sure to...
Although, I'll tell you something. I've used booking.com a lot, and that was the only time I've ever had an issue. I don't think it was on booking.com's side.
I think it was there.
It was on their side.
Yeah, so anyway, just, as always, when you are making reservations through the websites, through the hotel's website or through a third-party website or anywhere, I just make sure you have a screenshot, save a little folder on your phone so you have all that information there when you check in, just to make your life easier. But no, this is a cute little, it's like a boutique
Talk about
hotel.
the rooms.
I thought the rooms that we stayed in were incredibly spacious. I believe we were in a suite. It wasn't a suite, it was just a standard room?
Yep.
Oh, okay. So... you can get a one-bedroom room that runs around 309 square feet. If you get the 2 beds, it's 319 square feet, and then the suite is 366 square feet.
And depending on what time of year you're booking, and especially, honestly, Booking.com had some great rates. I want to say we paid about $150 a night for that room.
Yeah. I've seen rates when I've looked at them, depending on what time of the year, anywhere from $120 a night to $180. Sometimes on really busy times, it's over $200. It's pretty. You can get really good rates here.
Yeah, I have it up right now, and it's just under. It looks, even just for this, the price difference between the 1-bedroom and the suite is only like I don't know, $30. So a suite is $220, which is really, really big and spacious. It's got the couch and everything in there, and the rooms are very bright. They're very colorful. The interesting thing about Hotel Indigos is that they're all, if you stayed in one somewhere else before, it's not necessarily going to look the same because they're boutique. They like to, I think they refer to them as neighborhoods, but all their hotels, they want to make sure they have a vibe that's kind of specific to where they are. So this one's very bright. It had a lot of, it was like white, greens, reds. It was all very white, and then they would have pops of color everywhere.
Yeah, it's your standard boutique hotel now. Dark hardwood floors, accented with lots of woods everywhere. They have one big accent wall where it can be like either orange groves, or in our case we had some big nuts on the wall, and Tyler and Katrina in there, they can vouch for the nuts.
Charles's room had industrial like gears on his wall. I don't know what was on Teresa's wall, but if it had been the nuts, we definitely would have heard of it. She had a third picture, I think. So, but it's not a massive hotel. It does have amenities. There was a pool. It had a little like kind of restaurant when you check into the lobby area.
I think the biggest perk of this is that it actually has free parking at the hotel too, and you do not find that at a lot of the hotels that are off-site at Disneyland. Yeah. And usually you're paying $20 to $30 for parking a day on top of that. So it's a huge savings to have that. And just to kind of go off that too, there's a lot right around general area, just right across the street from the hotel itself. There's a Blaze Pizza that's open late every night. So if you need your late night snacks, that's there. First thing in the morning. Starbucks is right across the street as well too. So
CVS right there too for any sort of like toiletries, amenities you might have forgotten or left behind and stuff. And it's right on the edge of the Anaheim Garden Walk. So like Craig said, the Blaze Pizza is open late, but then you also have like a little shopping area you can go in. There's more dining things. There's Cheesecake Factory, P.F. Chang, stuff like that. But there's a lot of, I feel like it's close enough that I'm right there, but it also, when we went back to the hotel, I felt very relaxed and like kind of refreshed immediately when we were in there. The bathroom was really large too, very spacious, and it had a pretty good sized TV inside of it as well, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Once we had gotten checked in and settled in, it was one of those where it was almost like, okay, let's slip back to the hotel for a few minutes because I want to go spend some time in there in the room. It was very, it had a big desk if you're going and you got to do some work while you're there too. So we were able to like edit some videos while we were just sitting right there too. So.
And the most comfortable beds I've been in in an offsite hotel anywhere around Disneyland. I haven't been into some of the one that Tyler's going to talk about, or Katrina's going to talk about, but at least for the ones I've stayed at, these beds are heavenly. At one point in time, Tom Bell, I think, slept 24 hours straight in one of these beds when I stayed there with him, so very comfortable all around.
Yeah, it would be my go-to first look, for sure.
You forgot about the most important thing, though. The water fountain show that happens every night.
Oh yeah, out front of the hotel on the street, there is a weird water fountain show that shoots off water to like Thriller and random other songs. Yeah.
Okay. Now, Luella, your pick was the Candy Cane Inn, which is one of the more storied off-site hotels. Extremely popular, very hard to get rooms here. But what is it about the Candy Cane Inn that you like?
I think location is perfect. It's right there on the corner of Catella, like near Catella and Harbor. So it's walking distance, but there's a shuttle, which is nice. Any place that offers complimentary breakfast is fantastic, because when you have a family and you're rushing in the morning, you can save some money by eating their breakfast. I think price-wise, it's very comparable. You know, it hovers around $200 depending on, really busy days or not. But it's a very, very charming hotel. I think you can get the feel that it could be a little bit old. It's been there a long time. There's a lot of history, and you would probably be best to book on their direct site, candycaneinn.net. But I think that it has like really nice touches, very family oriented. There's a pool, all the amenities you need, and just serves its purpose. So I like the Candy Cane Inn. I recommend that all the time when I have family and friends come over, and it really does exactly what it needs. And like you said, the location is so close.
It's steps away.
Walk. Yeah, just steps away, but they have a shuttle, because I know at the end of the day, you're just sometimes don't even want to walk a couple feet. So that's great too. They have a shuttle every half hour.
Yeah, I think of all the ones we're going to talk about, this is the closest to Disneyland Park. I mean, it's literally like steps away from the entrance.
It's the first property on that side of the street, right?
Yeah,
as you're leaving Disney, exiting their property.
It's the first one you hit.
Yeah.
And again with the Candy Cane, because of its popularity, it's a good idea. You're probably not going to get last minute availability at this place.
Yeah,
so book it in advance. Book it in advance. It's because of its location, and like I said, it's been very popular among the Disney fan community. So it definitely books up quickly. But I'm looking at like just random dates in March, between $179 and $219, depending on the type of room you get.
Yeah, I mean, there's really no frills to it, but it's very nice, and it's walking distance to like 7-Eleven on the corner there. You can get all your things. There's a refrigerator, so you can buy your own drinks and put it in the refrigerator. So it's nice, a good budget hotel, and close to the park.
And you can buy your park tickets there too, right? Because it's
you can buy your park tickets.
They're good neighbor hotels, yes.
Yes.
Now another fan favorite, I believe Tyler, this was your pick. There he is. Was the Howard Johnson Anaheim?
Yeah. So the Howard Johnson, to me, is also very close to the park. It's probably just about a block away on Harbor. You just have to walk down the sidewalk a little bit and then cross the street, and you're right there at Disneyland. So it's very close. They've got a lot of different room types, all kind of ranging from like 296 square feet to like 700 square feet. So it's got pretty good range. There's a lot of things, a lot of good rooms for families and just couples alike. So you can go and you can get a standard with two queens, or you can do the king, and those will sleep. The ones with two queens will sleep 5 people, and you can also bump it up to different suites that have bunk beds and things like that that'll sleep up to many more people than that. So all the different rooms that you want. Then also one of the really cool things about Howard Johnson is there's like a little water playground there. So
it's a big, actually, it's a fairly big water play area. They really spent a lot of money expanding that. So
yeah, exactly. Like it's actually some place where, you know, a kid could definitely spend a couple hours having some fun, and so that's really great for families as well. They also have a pool, just a regular old pool. And I really have liked this hotel. I've only stayed there once. They have really nice, bright, colorful rooms. Even like one of the king suites that they have is actually like a Pirates of the Caribbean suite. So the walls are all red, and they have all these great Pirates of the Caribbean posters and stuff like that. This is another one of those hotels that, because it's so close to Disneyland and it's just kind of a popular hotel too, it's pretty nice, that it's going to book up well in advance. So you're going to, like, especially for weekends and stuff like that, you're going to want to make these reservations far in advance.
And just taking a look at price points again, I'm looking at the same dates. I'm just picking random dates in March, ranging between $186 a night and $299 a night for their bunk bed suite. So, you know, that's kind of the price point that you're looking at there.
And for anybody who's wondering, just in case you're trying to save money or anything, I wouldn't recommend trying to put an adult in one of these bunk beds. They're smaller than, you know, they're not as tall as like a normal bed or anything. So I wouldn't try and save money in that regard. But you know, the rooms are very nice, and also some of them have views of Disneyland. So if you get one that's high up enough and is facing the right direction, you can get a great view of like Autopia and Matterhorn and, you know, all those things that are over on that side of the park over by Tomorrowland there. So yeah, I like this hotel a lot. I think it's. Did you have something to add, Luella?
Yeah, I like it. It's really close to McDonald's and Panera, so you can really grab something cheap to eat on your way walking to the park or back. And the water park has wonderful slides. My kids love it, so that's a lot of fun. It's not just a pool. There's like slides and kids for kids to run around, so it's great.
Yeah, so that's one of my favorite hotels. One of my favorite good neighbor hotels, I guess you call it.
Now, I have to be honest. I have limited experience off-site. I usually stay on-site, but I have stayed at a couple, and the one that's on my list is the Hilton Anaheim, the one right next to the convention center. I've stayed there a number of times, so that says something about it. It's a big hotel. It's a very, very, very big hotel. It's got a lot of inventory, and that, coupled with the fact that it's in an area that's very congested with a lot of hotels, tends to drive the price of these rooms down. So we've been talking about Indigo, we've been talking about Candy Cane, we've been talking about Howard Johnson's. The Hilton, for the same dates I'm looking at that week in March, is significantly less expensive. Looking at one king bedroom or 2 queen beds, $144 a night. So it's about $50 or $60 less than the other ones that we've been looking at. If you are a Hilton Honors member, which a lot of people are, your points will work there. If you're Hilton Honors Gold or better, you have a special front of the line access to the Starbucks in the lobby in the morning, which is huge. Okay, that is huge, because that line can get crazy in that Starbucks. And it's got decent, like some of the there are packages where you can get breakfast included. And their breakfast was actually quite good. The buffet breakfast in the lobby. The restaurant there is quite good. It's got a lot of curb appeal when you walk in. It's a really modern, sleek, clean hotel.
It's got a food court too.
It has a food court
because it's actually if it's. I don't want to say it's a convention hotel. Well, it is a convention.
It is a convention hotel.
So
yeah, it's a convention hotel.
it was the host of the Power Ranger convention that I went to, so I love going to sit in the lobby and watch the look on people's faces when all the people were going to the convention. It's one of my favorite things. And it happens at D23 too, but it is really cool for people watching for that, because you never know what's going to be going on in the convention center sometimes, so you get to see a lot of really interesting people come through that way too. So
now this the location of this being right next to the convention center, it's about a 10 to 15 minute walk. I want to say we clocked it at a little over a mile to get into the park from there, which for most of us was not a problem at all. Although Tom, bless his heart, Tom with those short little legs was having a hard time keeping up with us. But, I really like this hotel. If I'm not going to stay on property, this is probably where I'm going to stay. I like the amenities. It's an upper level Hilton by Hilton standards. Mm-hmm. It's a well-maintained Hilton, which is important because Hilton's a franchise, and it really depends on the franchise you get. I've had good experiences in Hiltons. I've had awful experiences in Hiltons. This one tends to be better. There have been complaints about the rooms being worn, depending on where you are in the hotel, so I want to put that out there. I've not really had that problem. Very comfortable, great service, and like I said, it's a full amenities. It's got everything soup to nuts.
It's got the there's a fitness center with a there's another pool downstairs.
The largest fitness center I have ever seen, but in a hotel, but they charge for it.
Yeah.
Unless you are Hilton Honors. Mm-hmm. If you're not Hilton Honors, they charge for access. But this isn't a couple of machines. This is this is a full gym. This is like you're going to your gym at home, plus the indoor pool that they have down there.
It's a pretty big pool.
So it's there's a reason that they're charging for it. So, but that was my choice. Katrina, that leaves you, darling.
So I chose the Residence Inn Marriott by the Convention Center. So it's right near, it's near the Hilton. It's right near the Hotel Indigo. It's like right on that corner of West Catella, and it's a pretty the same amount of walking. It's about a 15-minute walk from there to Disneyland.
Slightly closer than
a little closer. We usually go the back way when you go to downtown Disney, not the front park entrance, because we noticed that the entrance getting into Disneyland could be a little busy in the morning. Anyway, besides that, the hotel is amazing. The prices range. I don't know what it's like in March, but usually it's about 100 and maybe 80 and above. And there's different kinds of rooms. So there's king, queen, and there's bunk bed, family suite, and the beds are a little bit smaller for the bunk beds, but it seems really nice, really kid friendly, pet friendly as well. They do allow dogs, and there's a pool, a rec center. And I can't stress it enough that I love this hotel so much because they have actually a nice hot continental breakfast.
Well, it's not a continental breakfast. It's an actual breakfast. Yeah.
And so there's also pastries and stuff like that. But my favorite part is there's a waffle bar where you can make your own waffles, and they recently upgraded the waffle griddles. So there are Mickey Mouse waffles. So you don't have to spend $12 for a Mickey Mouse pancake over at Disneyland. You can get your kids to eat the Mickey Mouse waffles over at the hotel. And they have biscuits and gravy and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I love, and also I just want to mention, they have Nutella there. So it makes me so happy.
I can tell.
Talking about the price point, this is the most expensive of the ones we have talked about because I've been running those same dates in March. But then again, this is an all-suite property. So your rates are pretty much about ranging from $229 to $369 a night, depending on what you get. That $369 is a kid's suite with bunk beds, 2 bathrooms. It's a 2-bedroom suite with a Disney view. Is $369 a night. So
that's not bad. Yeah. I don't know. I really love the rooms because there's a kitchenette in there, so that's what makes it worth the price. I feel because there's a full there's a full refrigerator, full size refrigerator, and then there's like a dishwasher, a sink, there's like a little hot stove, like an electric stove, and they give you plates and all that stuff to cook on and eat off of. And they give you like little popcorn too, like so you could put it in the microwave and heat it up so you can have like nice fresh popcorn and like watch a movie or something. And we've stayed at different parts of the hotel, so we've seen like most of the views. And so you can get a really nice view of Disneyland, and you can actually get to see the fireworks too. There's one room that we stayed at where I got to just lay in bed and just watch the fireworks, and it was amazing. And you could see there's some rooms that are off to the side. I'll have to like warn you guys, they're a little bit smaller if you get a corner room, but most of the rooms are really spacious, and the bathrooms are really big, which I love because I am a female and I love to spread out my makeup and my face wash and stuff. So
does Ryan.
So I love to like make sure I have enough room in the bathroom. So I really like it. The beds are really soft and comfy. Sometimes I will oversleep, and so we'll have like 30 minutes to get out of there. And there are like the parking you do have to pay for. I think it's $18 or something.
You do have to pay.
But there's ample amount of parking in the garage. They have like a little garage, so at least your car is like covered and it's not wide open when it's hot outside.
They also have a little for lunch and dinner. They'll also do room service with it. They have Pizza Hut.
Oh, that's right.
So there's like a little Pizza Hut on the outside, and you can order some pizzas and stuff from out there. That's kind of the only food they have besides the breakfast.
Yeah.
So
unless you count a bar as food, but
yeah,
they do have a little like a little bar in the downstairs lobby area where there's like TVs, and then there's like a little office area where you can like print out your tickets, and they do sell tickets as well, so you can get your park tickets there.
But for me personally, these are the nicest rooms I've stayed in off property. Like that, and I think that's why they're more expensive on top of being just like full-on suites, because every one of these rooms is going to be able to sleep at least 5 people, and they all have full-on kitchens. Yeah. And so it's almost like it's Residence Inn, that's the whole point, but it's almost like you're at your home. You've got everything you need. So, and
you have privacy too, because we stayed with friends in like a king room. So the living room has like a sofa where you could pull it out as a bed, and so they got to have a television in there and like go to sleep and have their own privacy. And then we had the bedroom and we had a TV. So it was really nice to like separate and like close the door, and then we can do our own thing. And then there's like a nice little seating area. So I love these rooms so much. They're so nice, especially for the price. I know they're a little bit more expensive than the other ones we talked about, but you get a nice hot breakfast and you get a nice kitchen. So for the people that stay for like a week, you can go to the grocery store, and then you can just like save some money here and there by like making your own breakfast and like eat making sandwiches and stuff for going to the park. So
all right, so there you have it. That's our list of the 5 best places to stay off-site at the Disneyland Resort: the Hotel Indigo, the Hilton Anaheim Convention Center, the Residence Inn Marriott by the Convention Center, the Candy Cane Inn, and Howard Johnson Anaheim. And that will do it for our show for this week. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back with you again next week with another episode of the Disneyland edition of the DIS Unplugged. Have a great weekend.